All right. Well, and I have to delay it too, but I guess I could chop it off anyways. For some reason, QuickBooks screen recording thing, um, what's it called? Doesn't really record the beginning. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a review here of I don't even know how to pronounce Ziad Jero. Tell me if I pronounce this right. Borokan. And it seems like, yeah, when I googled the last name, it said the country, but but it said it is East Africa, and you could be other parts of East Africa like Ethiopia, obviously, or whatever. But yeah, you definitely look more East Indian. I know most people think I'm East Indian, whether you're Filipino or Middle Eastern or East Indian or whatever. Very rarely Mexican. And again, as you get to know me, you'll see that I don't really care about none of that stuff at the end of the day. It's about culture. And cultures are emerging, new ones are emerging, and there's subcultures within those cultures. Like even within our cities, in a sense, there'll be cliques, in a sense, right? Groups and stuff like that. So just like the water company will have its own culture, per se, of the group dynamics. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna say I may look young, but I'm actually 37. You can't tell from the camera, but I mean, eventually you'll get a couple of white hair, stuff like that. Though I can do quite incredible stuff that people, even at a young age, can't do, especially at my age. But a little fat right now because just been busy. It's a long story. I'll explain all that. But all right, so the link did end up working. I might call this video Das Kapital, because often when I explain this stuff to people earlier on, I remember people would think that there was some kind of hippie commune and stuff like that, and I can't blame them. But anyways, for a minute I thought you were giving me the file on that one commune or whatever you want to call it over there in India called something Aurora. So it's kind of I forgot what Trevor's project is again, or Travis project, but yeah, his is Aurora. This is Aurora, and the other one's like, let's see, hold on. East Indian community where no money is used. There it is. Oh yeah, Auroraville. India's famed utopia community struggles with crime and corruption. Oh, who would have thought, huh? Many years down the road, when fucking these white, and it's funny because, see, even though I'm trying to get us beyond. Okay, hold on. Sorry, 1 second. We have to. How long is this? Damn, it doesn't tell me how long. That's the only thing I hate about this thing. I always got to start a timer. Damn it. Okay, we'll guess. Set a 13-minute timer. And for here, we're gonna set a 30-minute timer because I gotta get to bed. I went home to bed yesterday late too, but I still got lots of work done. But anyways, I'm not not gonna get to the side tangent there. Even though I'm trying to get and the reason I'm looking this way because my camera's this way, and I don't know if you guys know, but I have a 49-inch screen, widescreen TV, monitor from Samsung. But the thing is that on Facebook it will have no black bars, meaning it's accepting that new resolution. But YouTube of all places does not. I just uploaded exactly how it's made. Because I don't do any editing. I don't have any time right now, like I said. What I noticed yesterday, my fan was going on, is that my computer's right below it, so that's why it I should take a picture actually to show people what it looks like going this way. But anyways, yeah. So now I put the ice pack underneath there. And so that basically cools it down. That's one of my products I'm going to make, which is a low-tech version with its own custom gel pad. Because with the gel pads that I have now, the way they form, they end up making your. I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm saying, but I'm just going to refine it so that it's just a quicker, easier switching of the pack. And for people like me who have their fans going, stuff like that. I mean, I should probably have it somewhere. I don't know. I'll figure out eventually where I'll never have any. Well, I guess the real YouTubers have the cameras, and the cameras don't make any sound. So when I record my screen, it uses a lot of, because it creates big files because it's super high resolution. I think I have 4K, if not 5K. I don't pay attention to that because I'm not into gaming and all that stuff. It's just I just need a bigger screen to do more work, more efficiently with spreadsheets and yada yada yada. Most people think I'm a trader, and I may become a trader, actually, a crypto trader, but I already have a company doing that for me. And again, I want to bring you guys along this community that I built. Even though a lot of you have, again, toxic money views, and just like, it's just the technology, and I'll prove it to you. And some of you will be when I finally do that, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I went in this fucking rabbit hole, this perspective that money is evil. I want to help the world, but money's evil. But yet, there's people who make money and help people, and you're just, well, I'm better than them because I didn't touch no dirty money. I earned my money the hard way. Got my dirty hands equals clean money, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I get it. You got to go through we all go through our phases. Some of us, let's say, are in the idealistic money hate phase longer than others. But anywho, where was I here? Sorry, it's late and tired. Had a long day and been overclocking my processor, that's for sure. Waiting for my tea over there. Anywho, well, I guess I'll show you what I do now. Actually, I don't know what will pop up, and I don't want to edit anything that's private or personal or whatever. Not that I have anything to hide, as you're gonna see. I've been kicked out of forums for posting myself naked because I'm all about accepting who you are. Obviously, yes, I look better than most, yada yada yada, especially when I'm at 16%. This is 18-19% body fat, so my six packs aren't as apparent. And plus, I'm sitting down; it's kind of a different view, and cameras give you a different filter. Anyways, you guys will see my video. I'll probably put it up here just to show you that I'm not just, I guess, intellectually smart, but I can do some pretty amazing physical things, And people are like, oh, he's tooting his own horn, this and that. Like, oh my God, that's another thing. People, you have to unlearn and relearn. There's a lot of people who don't want you to feel good about yourself. Okay, just because I'm feeling good about myself doesn't mean I'm knocking you inherently. That I say, hey, you're a piece of shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm knocking the average masses, I know that, and that may include you in certain things, but I'm not saying that's what's going to be you forever too. I'm here to teach you how to change and all that stuff too. So if you feel jealousy, envious, that's good. Jealousy is not. Envious, you eventually want to emulate, and that's how you know you were envious. And jealousy is when you actually want to hurt somebody. Words are nothing to me. Like, sticks and stones is my whole thing, So people can comment shit, all this other stuff, which is even great when success is the greatest revenge, or da 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 da. So. Sorry, I think I had tongue in my teeth. Anywho, I thought I brought my water. I'll let my desk go up and show you how it goes up. Give you a different perspective of my place here. I have what's called an uplift desk, their largest model that they offer, the table size. Of course, I could remodify it, but I would have to source a bigger table. Anyways, all right. So one of our subscribers here says he's been working on something, and I thought the link didn't work on my phone for some reason, and now it did. Maybe you changed the settings. I don't know, but I guess it was a Google Doc. So let's review it. I think I'm calling this video La Capitale, Das Kapital 3.0, or my movie 2 might be called, Das Kapital 3.0, just kind of playing with words, playing with, because some people are like, this is communism. It's like, no, because we have money and this and that and yada yada, but there's a plan and da, da, da. Again, sometimes you gotta clickbait people to get into there, all right? Wait, did I do this actually? God damn it. What was this? 30? Shit. Set a 10-minute timer. It's still on it's on my earphones right now. Come on. All right, there we go. So I'm sure. Let's see here. Can I increase font size? Just font size. What the fuck? Okay, so let's do it this way then. Okay, this thing's gonna need us to make a little bigger. And that's the problem that I see. You know, when I could have just screen selected this 2/3 of the screen. So this is what I do. That's just how it turns out when it's a third of it. So obviously you have here your table of contents, I guess. But let's go through it. I'll give you 30 minutes. I know it's probably gonna be rushed. We'll see. But I love. You know, I haven't seen anybody that I don't actually know. I've seen a couple of projects that have bits and pieces, and especially this one particular group. They're good, but again, their branding looks very low quality and very hippie-ish. And again, hippies don't have the money. They have some money, but they don't have the majority money. So you need the moderate to high intellectuals with the money, because that's why they have the money, because they're you know, coders, engineers, right? All kinds of engineers, right? Financial people, right? So they know finances. Those people, you know, they understand investments, right? So those are the people you need to talk to and sell. And they like Teslas, right? We like Teslas. We love cleanliness. We love modernness. You know, minimalism is a big key. I mean, look at Elon Musk. Like, the guy just keeps making me love him more than. I mean, I don't like how he's kind of like very weak for women. Yeah, it's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's not hating on women. It's just women is one of the things in the world that you kind of have to have non-attachment to, right? Ultimately, you want to have non-attachment to most things, right? To be generally happy. It seems like, but he's a billionaire, so he can recoup that loss of dopamine, serotonin that comes with being with a woman, which he has. You know, we've already seen it, so I'm just saying, whatever. That's the only thing I don't agree with it. But again, nobody's perfect, because nobody's wrong or right. So I'm just saying, that's my own personal take. Like, I don't know why, you know, he does what he does with women, but anyways. Yeah, you know, he's got rid of a lot of this stuff he said to become a minimalist, and you know, I think he understands, like, yeah, I work hard all the time, I'm not even using it, so what the fuck? In my case, if I desire it, I know I use it here and there. Again, in my case, I'm just gonna have like 2 houses, but I will have my warehouse, right? But that's for creation purpose. Even part of my house will have a good amount of creation stuff, where I can sometimes, when I don't want to go to the warehouse, I can still have the key things I need to edit design and stuff like that. So, anywho, let's just start this. Sorry. Efficiency, access, integrity. Sorry, ingenuity. Sorry if I botched any words. I'm gonna again speed read this because we're already down to about 20 minutes. Responsibility. Responsivity, human-centric, resource-based, Project Aurora, baby steps towards rejuvenation, universal abundance. Okay, I like those words. That's what I call, and that's what I focus on when it comes to healing, rejuvenation, leisure and luxury, beyond ego and artificiality. Okay, that's a loaded word, artificiality and ego. I can understand where you're coming from. All right, so my question here is, what are you using here to make this I guess these images? When we look at modern man, we have to face the fact that modern man suffers from a kind of poverty of the spirit, which stands in glaring contrast with the scientific and technological abundance. We learn to fly the air like birds. We learn to swim like We haven't learned to walk the earth as brothers. Yep, exactly. What an amazing times. But I'm not, I love these things, but sometimes when the retards or the masses, dumb asses, use these cliches, they lose their importance, you know. Anywho, plus talk is cheap. That's what I ultimately say. Anyways, even though I know I can talk a lot, because I'm gonna back it hard, you know. So as tough as I'm on you guys, my dear brothers and sisters, stuff like that, I am just as tough as myself, you know. I don't know. So it's just sometimes just the price of being passionate about something. The fuck. Okay. What amazing times we live in as a living in a typical grandparent could hardly even dream of back in their young years. Why is that highlighted though? We have more material comforts than kings and merchants princes of old times. We can build skyscrapers. Sorry, it's because when it's blown up that big, my eyes are not trained. Like I'm trained to a smaller thing, but I'm blowing it up for the screen. So I guess if I step back, maybe that might help. We can build skyscrapers that no other animal can build, and we can view. And I haven't read out loud in a while too, so that is a muscle you can say that has to be worked on or whatever. We can view the world through virtual reality headsets. It's good, good and bad, as you'll see. Right? It's all within. It's all about content. It's all relative. We can hold conversation with people in other parts of the world, travel faster than the speed of light, lifespan that has made huge leaps, technological progress, and we can give the insight to life, but despite all, without love, it's literally nothing. Yep, modern culture, despite being rich in many ways, seems to have been drained of the very essence. Okay, so before I continue reading here, I'm actually just going to go through and see, what these images are. And actually, no, let's go over here and look at the table. Oh, what the fuck? Is this how it's really going to do me? There we go. Maybe we can go nature. Okay, gifting, the disconnect, the heal, and practice. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say earlier when I was thinking about what am I gonna talk about, about this. Again, primarily, man. Yes, you have to lay it out for yourself, right? Like obviously, I have my own version of this, but what I realized too that it's not really much. This is not really much about the words. If I'm gonna write something down, it's gonna be more for the script now, the script of the movies, and the concepts and all that, than to actually write it like this. And so I'm gonna storyboards, flowcharts, mind maps, stuff like that. All that things that will connect all that together to make the movies too. But we'll still be there for those people who do like to read stuff like that and whatnot, because again, I rather experience the words than just read something, So, of course, the reading can hype you up about it, and that's imagination. But the problem with imagination too is that it can be what you're imagining is great in your head. But all the other people imagining the way you're imagining it. But if you take your imagination and put it on the screen, there's still going to be some confusion sometimes, because just people are just weird or whatever. But there will be less of it. It's about reducing the translation of the thought to the image, the imagination to the other person with the least possible amount of, I don't know, loss of intent or whatever. All right, so nature gifting. I'm sure you're gonna try to make points about nature, stuff like that. Disconnect, pass from gifting to hoarding. Exactly, yeah. Hoarding, greed. What? Oh yeah, money, no money. That's why I put my system on there. But actually, I think I have a more refined thing I made. I posted it on Facebook, but I didn't post it on my channel. Again, there's a lot of stuff that I have created already that I haven't posted on my channel. And there's even more stuff that I have in audio recordings that I have to go through and just review there's a lot of notes and audio notes, video notes, picture notes, all kinds of shit. Actually, all empires around the world are fruit of strategic violence, and taxation back then was no different. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to see if so you don't really have too many flowcharts or mind maps here. So it's, again, think of a mind map, flowchart, whatever, as maps, right? You say we're at point A and we want to get to point B, right? Well, how do we get there, right? So and that can get kind of complex. And as you will see mine eventually, you'll see what I mean. It's simplicity is to refine things actually gets very complex. The irony of it, in a sense. But then eventually that complex becomes simplicity. Like, again, just like riding a bike, it's complex in the beginning and then it becomes simple. But it is that simplicity That you now the what you'd call now simple, it was complex to you at one point, right? But that's just the phases of perception and the ebb and flow of life and the circle of life. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I mean, it's just there's just a lot of words, some platitudes, some cliche sayings, yada yada. I mean, they're great. Okay, so I don't know. It seems like you designed because I kind of see the certain pattern there. Population. Okay, now 10K. It may be in there, but are you referring to in East Africa? Which, again, let me go get my tea real quick. When I had a friend of mine, we're gonna test how good the audio works at this distance. But I used to have a friend of mine that I guess picked up the passion for me, and I was grateful for. I mean, later we he's just not an honest businessman at the end of the day. He ripped me off 30 grand, and his brother just did a bunch of retarded shit when we were in California. And it's a long story, man. I lived in multiple states, and when I look back, it's like, damn, I got a fucking story. I wasn't looking for a story, but we all have stories at the end of the day to think about it. But obviously, some of us more, I guess, more exciting than others. What was I saying? Fuck. Oh yeah. So he invested in a brick machine, a terra block making machine. Basically, you take clay or dirt, a certain combination of aggregates, and instead of using a coal burning, wood burning, whatever you're using to heat up the clay, to harden it or whatever, you would use hydraulic pressure. Pressure is heat, all right? And when you create enough pressure of it, it kind of does the exact same thing. So it's just, many ways to skin a cat, but oh my god, it's been a while. This is so good. I think you guys will enjoy this video a little better without the sound of the fucking fans. And if it were to turn on, I would run and get another pack. That's why I got 2 packs. But anyways, you guys are gonna like that product. You guys can co-invest. Like I said, I have this crypto company that I'm investing in that's making me great money. And by the end of the year, things should flip differently, especially after I run the ads. I may make a video about it so you guys can go over there and do that thing. But even though I may, maybe hating or, in a sense, bashing on people who have toxic money views, I hope you can be like, humble yourself, be like, he's right. Like, if I like this project too, it won't get off the ground or there's no fucking money. Okay, so you may not have the experience, the passion, the general intellect, right, of the level that I'm at, right? But if you got $10 or more to spare per month, send them my way, and I'll do the work for you. Isn't that the great kind of true capitalization, right? Put your money to work, right? So give it to me, and this is my passion, so it's not really work. And of course, it'll cover all my living expenses, stuff like that. If we reach 44,200 people, which is really nothing. I know there's definitely at least 4,000 in the Zeitgeist Movie Venus project, but the question is, will you guys get your heads up out of your asses? I'm not here. We're never gonna kiss you. Never. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the issue with me with Travis. I can see, and I'm sure that's why he didn't really continue talking to me, because, I'm not this kumbaya. I am, but in a different way. I want to see the action. Okay, I hear too much of the talking. Great, you're supposed to talk, about it, but fucking put some action behind it, right? That's why, again, okay, so for perfect example for women, right? See, men, most of you will be clouded by sex and the ideas that movies have put into you that girls are these perfect little things and da 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 da. I know some men are like, I never said that. It's like, dude, then we're not talking about you. Okay, we're talking about the you can call it the blue pillars or whatever, the guys that just are romanticizing these concepts that really are not true if you really look into it, right? So if you're an environmentalist and you do the numbers, right? Because some environmentalists, they'll do the numbers of that, but they won't do the numbers of other things. Anyways, the point is, women say they claim that they love the environment and they care for the children, yet they are the ones that drive 80% of the consumption. Okay? And of course, the men just, here's my card, baby. Just don't be mad. Happy wife, happy life. Just give me pussy at the end of the day. Don't put me in the doghouse. That's the majority of men. And even rich men, even some rich men too, okay? There's also obviously other rich men like me, like, no, I'm going to give you a fair value for that service, but no more, no less, okay? So I'm just saying that's one example of look at the words versus the actions. Okay, if they don't match to me, then you're a hypocrite, and I really don't like you. I won't hate you, but I won't like you either. I'll still respect you by not murdering you because you disagree with me or you're a hypocrite. I won't rape you. I won't molest you. I won't beat you up. I won't steal your money or property, and I won't make false allegations or damage your property. Right? Same thing as stealing it. Or just anything that damages finances because your property is somehow related to finances. Even if it's a car that appreciates, you still have whatever value you can get extracted that market value, right? So those are what I call, I think, the true ultimate 6 transgressions. People want to add cheating, but I'm like, you don't necessarily lose anything, okay? The cheating is based on, I promise not to have sex with somebody else, but what did you lose? Now, if the person cheats, has sex with an STD person, then gives it to you, then that affects you financially because now you got to take these pills, or maybe if they don't pay for it, okay, but it's still it's kind of it should have never been in your body, right? Okay, there's a violation of that. Okay, great, that is true, right? But I'm saying if you get herpes, now you got to medicate all your life. Yeah, then that person is a piece of shit for cheating in that context. But I'm saying because it affected you. Physically in a negative way, and also usually involves some kind of money. All right, so you can say that one's in the gray area. Okay, so there might be 6, 7 transgressions, true sins, true laws that I would enact, whatever you want to call it. All right. I forgot what I was saying about the whole brick thing. Oh yeah, Africa. So I was thinking of going because the machines were being built in India, and I think part of it was shipped to Africa because it makes no sense. It makes so much sense, right? So anyway, I don't know. I had strong feelings of either going to some of the most poorest nations, and India's kind of not really in the realm because of China's not really in the realm because of many different factors I'm not getting into, right? But whatever. At the end of the day, I said to myself, whoever has great group rapport or whatever, consensus or whatever, and basically can put their money where their mouth is and act accordingly and follow the plan, I'll be there. They can hire me as a consultant. I do foresee other cities, towns, or countries coming to us and hiring us, just like how they're hiring Mondragon to be basically teachers of their system structures. Now, of course, I don't know if Mondragon ever thought to himself if that system can scale up, and it probably could. But that's where I'm going with it. Okay, it's like, okay, that's a good corporate model. Now, but how do we scale that up in a sense? And we kind of can. We're just nationalizing the Fed, which would be in a sense nationalizing all banks, anyways, across the world, becoming one united world instead of fucking all these. I mean, we could still have just like basically America is America, but it has 50 states, right? So it'd be the world, and it's 160 states, right? Whatever how many countries there are, whatever. And I'm sure as people would evolve, there would be more consolidation. But these lines would still be there, but they wouldn't have the same destructive power as before. They're just there because it's observable that there's different cultures. But we're going to get to an underlining point where we have more commonality. There'll be a core structure system that we all follow because we know it makes sense, and then we can all the other luxury stuff that we can tweak or whatever we can if we want to or whatever. But I'm saying there's going to be a core technological whatever. I mean, just like Arabs, right, who believe in Allah's like whatever. Well, I guess most Amish people would be probably more of a good of example, but they're still using technology too, right? I'm saying there's just the technology is so obviously, you know, it's so obviously you have to use it. Why wouldn't you use it? That they're going to use it, you know, even if they don't want to per se, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's just going to be a baseline system, okay? There's going to be the system, and it's not going to have the same negative connotation as it has now, like the system is, you know, the reason is the system or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Africa. I mean, it is cheaper. It costs me a lot less money, you know. Poor people are more desperate or whatever, and they are kind of more, I guess, childlike. They're more malleable because very little money. It takes little money to impress them or whatever. To impress them would basically create some kind of allegiance or whatever. But like I said, at the end of the day, right now, my main concern is creating the system. Das Kapital 3.0, right? And then people can copy it or whatever and follow or whatever, and I can go build whatever, and then I can go build it primarily. Basically, that's what I'm doing. I'm creating the blueprints, right? There's so many ways I've called it in the past too. So, and I've always been thinking about, just like YouTube videos, like, okay, what if I name the video this way and I put this thing, you know, but still the same video, but just the title and the clip and the picture clip or whatever would be different. So just like this movie, I'm actually market it three different ways. It'll still be the same movie, but it will be titled 3 different ways with 3 different pictures, I guess. So group decision making 3 hours only. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's just too much words, man. Too much words can. I mean, look how kind of it's effective, but it's also ineffective. Words, like, let's say the Bible, religions, right? They seem to unite a certain group of people, but they're also seems to create other people unite around other sets of group of words that they think that they're interpreting correctly, and these motherfuckers fight. You know, it's like. Okay, we'll give you another 10 minutes because we burnt up some bullshit here. Eventually we're gonna read. Okay. Maslow hierarchy. Yep. Growth needs, cognitive needs, aesthetic needs, self-actualization, transcension. Okay. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, probably kind of the 40s. Yeah, man. I mean. You still, I mean, okay, yeah, he has a bunch of manuals, stuff like that, very long, but you have one manual that's, or whatever. Okay, so you have one manual, as of now from what I see, and it's just a bunch of words and a couple few images. Like, again, you're not going to sell the idea, right? Movies, right? Look at all the stupid ideas that the young generation now has, because why? Music videos, right? And movies, right? TV shows, right? They're obviously more captivating. Right, they're more captivating, whatnot, you know. And what is the old saying is, right? A picture's worth 1,000 words. So instead of having to speak 1,000 words, boom, picture, right? Imagine, you know, you just trying to describe a picture, right? Again, you may have the picture right in front of you, but if the other people, if you can't flip it around for them to see it, there's going to be a huge amounts of misinterpretation. Right? Even those people might think, hey, I get it, but then what happens when it's like, right, in theory and in versus practice, right? Look at the in theory, right? Communism in theory seemed great, but the people who chose to practice it, how they interpreted it, to me it was basically military dictatorship. So, you know. And they bastardized the word, so you can't really use the word anymore, you know? Socialism, communism, whatever the fuck. 3-hour workday, yeah. Okay, yeah, man, I mean. Yeah, I get. Yeah, I know all about the farming, different type stuff. Yeah, robust farming. Yeah. But again, wouldn't it be great to see a movie of it in action, right? One of the ideas I'm playing with now is the story kind of goes of somebody who's moving from the outside world into our world, right? So they or there's another version would be of them coming to visit or whatever, but I'd rather have them move that way. People can, it kind of shows you the orientation, like this is what's going to happen to you when you move in here. All right, so you're gonna either come with a small amount of stuff or have shippers, movers come with your stuff or whatever, right? However much stuff you have, and you're gonna go through the inventory process, right? Where all your belongings are scanned into the system, and obviously you take whatever you want to take back to your place, and the other stuff gets efficiently stored, and then in your own leisure time you can select what you want to be rented or we don't suggest the renting, but again, we're not. You don't create a highly evolved society by restrictions. All right. So you have the option to rent, sell, donate, meaning you say I don't know, you relinquish ownership, or you keep owning it and you share it. All right. That's the ideal. You just share it. Okay. So, of course, it'll be insured, all that crap. So trust me, like. It's the key. It's the key to transition us out of. Sure, it's going to hurt the economy because if let's say a population of 5,000 people is sharing, let's say 10 hammers, right? In the normal system, there were probably, out of those 5,000, maybe let's say half of them would own hammers that they're not utilizing. And it's like, okay, so they nickel and dime themselves right there, right? So I'm just, you guys will see it when I show the movie or whatever, and how the money flows, stuff like that. Because there's going to be the movies, right? That's going to show you the grand concept, the general concept, and then there's going to be the, I guess, frequently asked questions or examples like, okay, this is how the money works. Right, this is how this is why it's transparent, why it has to be transparent to a degree. It's not going to show what you're buying, but it's transparent, like of how much you're getting paid in the company, and also, what the company costs are to produce a product. So there's going to be a price tick. There's going to be on the price ticket. There will always be our costs, and our price, right? So that. It's another layer of financial transparency to basically hopefully stir people to question, like, well, how much did this cup actually cost them to produce, and how much did they charge me? What the fuck, right? And you can see all this. Yeah, it's just greed and robbery, and people who accept robbery in a sense. But anywho, okay. Oh yeah, now this reminds me of this one project in I think it was the Middle East. It was a window company. I think they went bankrupt or something happened. They had to shut down a company because of the war that was going on or something like that. But they had a very unique PDF. I know it's in my thing. Like, again, you guys have no idea. I mean, I was gone for a couple of years, but again, sometimes you have to become who you're not or become who you want to be. So I didn't actually necessarily want to become rich or anything like that. It's like, fuck, I'm having a hard time raising money with you guys. You guys are all, money's evil. And also you don't have any fucking money. So I was like, the fuck am I asking the poor people for fucking money to build something very highly complex that goes over their head anyways? It's like, I don't know how Wi-Fi works or whatever, really, truly, all that sort of stuff, right? But I use it, right? And that's where we want to get you to. So don't worry about it if you're not even smart as me. Don't even feel bad. If you want to experience the things, start donating what you have. And trust me, obviously. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, so many people, I fucked people so much over that I hate. I don't want to be accused of that shit, of whatever. And I know I will be at one point, whatever. But it's like, that's why I have so much transparency. I record almost everything. This city was going to have a lot of cameras, which is obviously open access to anybody, right? To hold everybody accountable, because that's why you find pieces of shit in all the different spectrums, right? That's how you hold them accountable. That's why I don't mind the whole China filthy thing. It's just, can't have mob rule in a sense to a certain degree. Then again, there's no police in this community. Okay, everybody's self-policing, so you know, yes, there's probably gonna be some renegades or people it's gonna be like back in the day when there was lawlessness. So you either get in shape, learn how to shoot a gun. Everybody's gonna be packing guns too. So it's not like, you know, it's almost equalized as much as possible. Of course, gangs will form and stuff like that, but I mean, the chances of that also not happen is slim to none, because again, why? Resources are being shared. When you really share resources to this degree, and everybody stacks the money that they can buy other shit that's not within the resource bank, there's very little need to fucking rob. Of course, always be delusional people with egos and stuff like that, but still, I mean, again, if we reduce it from, let's say, right now the world's operating at a fucking 80% greed, right? The meter's at the 80%, right? If we can reduce it back down to 40, that's a win for me. Okay, we haven't eliminated it all, but at least we eliminated 40%, and we're in the process of eliminating more. So you should explain, you know, make a video explaining, you know, why like this, right? I think I haven't put my video of my design, homemade design in SketchUp. Pretty in depth, and anyways, yeah. See, there's just so much. Like I said, I haven't. Okay, this looks more like some kind of green garden, solar panels. I mean, rooftop garden. Nah, man. I mean, it's optional, but for the most part, I mean, unless there's a team or some automation to fucking to harvest all this stuff, it's good in concept, but on a mass scale to feed a lot of people, right? These cities are gonna be pretty big, and they will. You need to have big farm. You just need to have it. You know, the farming we have now, just better practices, right? Just a little more intelligent, right? Instead of this, you know, monocropping and fucking fake fertilizers because quick, you know, just turn crop faster because we got these fucking blood leaching banks on our asses that they're gonna repo our fucking farm if we don't produce profit, you know? So okay, energy, yeah, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say whatever I'm designing is gonna be perfect. It's gonna be better than what we have now, and out of that process, we are gonna learn better building practices. Again, we are gonna learn, even though as much as we save a lot from 3D designing and BIM and all this other stuff, but there's still always unforeseen things that we just can't see until we actually truly have it in our face. You know, face. You know, truly solid, truly real. If that even makes any sense for you quantum people, but. First order requirement for any form of sovereign ownership in land is land ownership, even if the town would be built on 100 adults and should theoretically be able to host up to 200 adults. Hey, look, my number, right? Kind of like that. Expansion would be capped at 200, at least initially, be on the safe side based on the land requirement. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's just going to be, it is going to be the money, you know? But again, as I invent, because we have apps and basically non-physical goods, right? That the production cost is basically negligible, almost zero. You make a lot of money, and that's why part of the reason why Apple is the way it is, right? The whole app revolution, right? I got a couple of apps that I'm designing that I think are going to be great money generator. Great money generators. Let's see here. I mean, Bashar, right? I think you see the last video I posted on the Bashar guy from Wawabi. Yeah, I think the guy in the interview guy said he did 30 businesses, right? 30 businesses, which seems about right, because billionaires, right? Often multimillionaires have at least 7 different forms of income streams, right? Billionaires, you would think they would be in the 30 range, so, or something crazy, something above average, 10, 20, whatever. Right, and look at him. He's definitely above 50. He's definitely above 50. So again, I know I'm going to get it earlier, but still, even if I get it at the 51 mark, even if I get it at the 55 mark, it's still rare. Billionaires are super rare. and I'm not the first. So again, I don't ever claim. That's why I don't claim any ideas, because the ideas are in the ether, and whoever pulls them from there, obviously, and manifests them first gets the credit, right? Who gets it to the market first gets the credit. Should get the credit. Period. That's how it is. None of this. I thought about it first, but you were just yap, and no fucking talk, right? So. The profit is designed for basic self-sustenance. Let's see if we can find some info on this app. There we go. Fuck. Come on. Okay, Matthew, I think we ultimately dealing with a set of criteria which is both necessary and sufficient for the most comprehensive, less complimentary approach doesn't work, but quote, the dominant market force does not make sense. Maybe one could argue that factors could not quite relate to how they play a part such as time, almost ability to do it. It's the same goes, moves, but have lack of defense capacity. They were captured eventually. We're kind of past that to a certain degree. This guy, important for this must be on the individual. Capitalist families and so on. Important for this must be on the individual. See the best of each one here. Yeah. It's a delicate balance, man. As being the first part fully where individuals, and the further individual develops, a stronger community becomes that he can form. But develops into what though? That's the point. That's the question. That's the greater question. Look at this hippie with his fucking. He reminds me of my fucking buddy Kool-Aid. Just love to argue for the sake of arguing. He read Nietzsche, and therefore Nietzsche. All of a sudden, he fucking. Oh my god, this guy. Gosh, just some people are just so fucking crazy, man. And then he became like this crazy hardcore capitalist, like whipping these. Not whipping per se, but verbally and just like. I can't blame him on another hand, because it's a delicate balance of like, okay, how much use is he extracting out of the person? Is he extracting more out of the person that he's paying them for, right? But that's very subjective, and people can argue left and right. At the end of the day, it is consensual. If the employee sticks around there, right, and continues to take the abuse, if there's abuse or whatever, for the pay, then so be it. Again, at least there's no gun. Sure, the pressures of the society, it's going to be helmeted. It's like, sure, you know how many jobs I quit and got fired from? This whole victim shit just disgusting to me. Anyways, anyway, of you, blah, blah, blah. So when did you perceive collecting needs for the Sith-like GitHub? Customized with text grading instead of code, and enabling rich text edition, offering a more intuitive interface. I don't know if you want to do more. Offering let's see here. Well, the comment itself is I just want to see how far when it was originated. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily tell me. Okay. November 15, 2019. Let's see, file. Document details. Okay, it's October 30. I'm sure it wasn't created then. You might have it. You might have had it on your desktop and then copy and paste it over here, because yes, that's what's nice about Google Documents. You can share with everybody, right? So that's why I took a lot of my spreadsheet systems, the things that I build on spreadsheets on Apple Numbers, onto Google Sheets. So profit making, especially with the operations below here. So have this without virtually being. It's designed for basic self-sustaining, even in the absence of profitable activities. To be primary. See, again, it's easier said than done, man. That's all I'm telling you. Easier said than done. I mean, again, look at Rawabi, bro. Look at Rawabi. Now you may argue, well, this and that. Trust me, man. if he runs it into your thing or my thing or whatever, or Jock or whatever, he can flip that. He can flip that. But again, still at the end of the day, you're still gonna need to make money. Okay, so in my community, again, we're focusing on the water, food production, and obviously creating the systems for the future. The towns and the corporations are going to adopt our systems to create this new environment or this new system or whatever. The blueprints make provision for at least twice the amount of food production required. Access will go to the market. Okay, yeah, exactly. Monetize market ensure state. Yeah, okay, yeah. Exactly. Sell the access food. No. Okay, hold on. So, pressure for the sake of meeting ends at the end of the month. No one would need to be primarily concerned with making a living for oneself. It would be more about attaining the highest level of transcendence after finding purpose and achieving inner fulfillment and personal growth from there. The blueprints make provision for at least twice the amount of food production. Look, man. Look at Russia, right? As much as we would hate the communism and what they did, right? They took all the farmers and fucking in a sense forced them to go into the cities to build the infrastructure. So those Russians now, right? You can say that about almost any country for the most. Well, not really. Well, America was different. They took blacks and Asians and Hispanics, So and of course Irish people too, and some other immigrants. But anyways, again, if you divide the Europeans in their hierarchies, because there was, right? So at least for America, right? And Canada's different and whatever. So yeah, so those people that suffered how many decades of building the infrastructure, and now people that live there now get the benefit of using whatever infrastructure they built, based on horrible forced labor, but it is, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now you can't go back, so you must accept it. So all I'm saying is that, yeah, you got to make a distinction. That's why I'm going to make different movies showing how things are going to evolve later on, but also going to show how the transition is going to be. There's going to be more work than fun in the beginning per se, but if it doesn't feel fun to you because we're revolutionizing stuff, right? Then it's going to be different. You're going to have to hold that vision and be like, why you're doing it, right? Do it for your kids or whatever, or some spiritual. What is that fucking word? Altruism, right? Whatever I'm saying. It's still going to be technically work. You're going to be doing. It's going to be the construction mode where you're not really experiencing the mansion that you're building, right? You're going to eventually, maybe you may, or you may not. You may, whatever. I'm just saying, like, you may, some may not get to experience what they envision to be the in a sense almost the final version of it. Because I mean, there will never necessarily be a finished thing, but at least, let's say, the milestones that we designed to, until we get to that point, we're like, oh, you know what? We should actually do it this way now. Whatever. The blueprints make provision for at least twice the amount of food production required, and the exit would go to Sure, basic income. That's if it's makes enough income for everybody. That's the point, man. Not everybody can live the same way, right? And of course, like Gandhi says, there's enough for everybody's need, but not for everybody's greed, right? For the higher level desires, however, most products and services would not be traded in from the income obtained from selling excess food would only provide. For higher level desires, however, most products and services would have to be traded in from the monetary market. Initially, the income obtained from selling excess food would only provide for basic expenditures, so corporate partnerships based on multi-stakeholder cooperative model, okay, there's a cooperative model, would be developed. Participants would be encouraged to come up with project proposals at that end. Selection would be based on profitability. Again, look up Mondragon. I think I put the link on. Or maybe did I? Maybe I don't know why I hid these other videos. I had these couple videos that I unlisted actually. I don't know why. I gotta review them one more time and see if I want to put them on. Again, I unlisted them. I haven't deleted them, so I can always put them back on. But yeah, Mondragon is the perfect sample. The only difference is that we would focus on, I think, what other more meaningful products, much more profitable products in a sense. Not that they're not profitable, I mean, that's why they're the largest cooperative in the world, but I'm just saying, just will just be a little slightly different. But their core system of seems to be working very well. But of course, it is a certain kind of people, right? We might not be able to pull that off too well in America. But again, who cares if you know, it's gonna take time. We just gotta find seeds. But as long as there is, let's say at least there's okay. Let's say we got 100,000 people to participate, right, and create a micro prototype of this, right, a living prototype so people can come and experience and whatever. Then we can have more converters, right? We can convert more people, whatever, you know, and let alone again the internet doing its thing and the ideas, you know, the seeds being planted, and again, just literally like a seed's planted, it's gonna take time for it to root and, you know, put its first pedestals out and all this other stuff. Yeah. Again, man, yeah, easier said than done, but again, no visuals. You're not really gonna sell the idea, you know. Again, and some animation ain't fucking cheap. I mean, there's some storyboard stuff that they can be doing up, but I mean that might still cost you quite a bit of money. Then you have to market it, okay? Sure, you can put it on YouTube, stuff like that, but dude, if you look at YouTube and who's making money, it's comedians, girls selling a form of sex, jokesters. I mean, there's a couple of technical guys on there. There's a couple of cool engineering, technical, high intellectual stuff, whatever, high intelligence, high mathematical intelligence, whatever, out there. They're making pretty cool science experiments and showing cool physics, you know, phenomenons through physics, aka physics. But you're gonna basically, I'm saying, you're gonna have to spend some amount of money, and that's why I already allocated at least $1 million, if not $3 million, to hardcore on the ground, multi-state, hitting the you know, the greater cities, you know, maybe top 10 cities, and of course, because of the internet, they will, you know, so I'll be putting billboards, hire people to go on the ground into, you know, metropolitan areas, handing out flyers, engaging with people, just handing us like, look, you know, I don't want people to botch, like, no, like, look, I'm kind of going to be the official representative, and so is whatever movies we put out, we rather explain and answer questions through movies and videos. Then don't, basically we're going to say, don't take anybody that's claiming to be part of our movement, whatever I end up calling it, or project, whatever, don't necessarily listen to them, okay? It's just so we don't you know, murk up the water or whatever. Yeah, man. Again, I don't know. You know, at least I'm giving you some kind of review. I know. I wish I had the time to review it. Great, but I'm saying at this point, you know, I don't know. When I research stuff, I research long and hard, and so I built quite a bit of stuff. You can see some of my videos, right? I mean, that's only the tip of the iceberg, guys. Okay, that's only the tip of the iceberg. So I'm saying, if somehow someone comes along and watches this, and I thought I had one guy. He was part of he was part of the guys that created that one. It wasn't Redfin. I don't know, some kind of real estate company, whatever. He made lots of money, and he was thinking at a certain level. And I contacted him on LinkedIn, but I got kicked out of LinkedIn recently. Anyways, but that fizzled out or whatever. I don't know. I just don't like asking anybody for money, you know, because I also want to build some of my own and stuff like that. And you know, again, Bashar is a perfect example, right? Okay, but I have to wait. Who cares? People are like, oh, where's your project? You're still doing it? Oh, no, no, no. Okay, you think Bashar didn't have the idea years, maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago, right? You know, and that was his reason for, you know, or maybe it happened at the very last minute. Maybe his reason was just to be rich, and all of a sudden he had an epiphany, and then within the last 5 years of him making that billion or whatever, he's like, you know what? I want to do this. You know, you just never know. But I'm saying, like, yeah, there's just so much you don't even know. Like, I know I'm like 50, 100 years out into the future or whatever, or what will be the future, even though it's just the slow rate of adoption. Some technologies actually are there quite ahead, quite a couple decades ahead. It's just the inventor or company or someone didn't really see a way of using it, and they didn't know how to market it. And that's why, yeah, marketing is very crucial too. You know, you can have the greatest product, but if you don't market it, then it doesn't mean shit. So that's why, again, I allocated at least $1 million, $3 million of hard hard stuff. Of course, that can go very far in the digital world too. But I just want to have that physical presence, and of course, there'll be some. Don't get me wrong. I'll probably drop a million in internet too. But I'm saying you're going to get a lot of that coming to the internet anyways from the hard, tangible marketing. Possession is determined by whether an object or space is being occupied, used, or set aside for later use. Enforced by legal institutions using state-sanctioned violence. Yeah, the question of ownership is going to be very interesting, but it's kind of like well, even though the person who owns the majority stocks, I guess, runs the company, or a group of people that own the majority stock can obviously vote and have their way, but again, the goal is to make those people super highly enlightened, right? That hopefully people in the future, it's not in the future. So again, for the most part, the way I'm designing things is not really going to be about money. It's about, because I mean, look at people who have no money but have a great design it, and then extract money from those that have it to produce it, right? The only difference is just we're not going to have those people that have the money, whether they're justified, inherited, or whatever, right? To extract so much of the value. We're just, like Mondragon, I think it had a 1 to 10, but supposedly now it's 1 to 100 ratio. That the lowest employee doesn't get, the highest employee doesn't get paid, the lowest employee doesn't get, or has it? The highest employee doesn't get paid 100 times more. Anything 100 times more beyond that. Anything extra would go back into the company treasury, basic company treasury, to be reinvested or whatever, stored or whatever. It could be used eventually for private interest, intellectual property, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm saying, yeah, man. Just, yeah, I would love to read this though, because I'm sure I could pull something out of it. But again, then maybe I will, right? Or maybe you'll refine it even more, right? Boil it down, because you're gonna need to if you're gonna convince the masses. I mean, for us, like us, it's different, but we're the outliers. We're not the masses. We're the exceptions. We're not the rule, man. At town would normally start with $100 with a final accumulation. I counted 300 because of how many. With my research doing, we would need a water company, which will basically consist of a drilling company. How many people run that, right? Water filtration, purification, whatever, treatment plant, whatever you want to call it, right? That takes a certain amount of people, right? Farms, but again, with the automation, it's obviously going to be less, and probably even lesser as we further automate that, right? And then same thing with construction, right? So water, food, shelter, energy, medicine, and transportation, telecommunications, and then everything after that, it's kind of like, space travel is part of transportation, so I mean that's basically it. I mean, and education is just inherent, because we have to educate people to do those fields. So in a sense, to me, it's already embedded in that, So that's kind of the only things I see there. Well, industrial design, but again, we're even in those industries, there'll be, right, the construction side will also be part of the home side. So even if you develop something like, I got this cool new product that I love it. I know I'm going to hate myself for not executing faster, because I know it's going to bring me some of the most amount of money, because I'll be able to sell the royalties to like Rubbermaid or something like that. But anywho, something I'm working on. I'm working on lots of products, and I know I'm going to be a billionaire before 51. It's just we're living in the age of exponentialism and all this other stuff. So. Yeah, man, it's just too many words, bro. Yeah, again, when I have time, I'm gonna review. I know it's gonna be maybe, I don't know, 6 months, maybe a year of me just review. Well, as I review and stuff like that and read stuff like that, however I feel inspired to do or whatever, even I may forget this, but I may remember it, right? Of course, I remember it more if you donate, right? So, yeah, and then if I pick up an idea there that I think, so again, sometimes you don't necessarily give me the exact idea, but because of what you said, this or that, made something trigger in my head that I learned somewhere else and made connection, and therefore add that to my thing, you know. So, but again, if I'm working this, oh, you stole this from me, or you stole this from this person, like, oh, shut up. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Because if you're a musician, sometimes what I found myself is that playing a thing, and I start playing a score, I'm like, wait, what? Why do I know that? Like, that sounds familiar. It's because, you know, well, first of all, if you look at that video of the guy who, like, almost every major pop song has these progressions, right? And I guess it just seems to be kind of a natural thing, or it's just because that's what's been produced so much often, it's embedded in my subconscious, therefore I'm somehow going to arrive to that exact same thing, you know. I wasn't copying or cheating, or it was just like, it just happened, you know. So anywho, just sometimes you just don't understand where the influence came from, okay. But like I said, I don't care about ownership. I never really claim. I'm always going to be, I'm just channeling this shit, channeling these ideas, and that's about it. So yeah, I mean, this should look, you know, nice, good green and white color. That's great. If that's gonna be your symbol, that's a cool symbol. I like it. Okay, mine's the fist with the monkey evolving into a human, and I'm gonna animate that. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be like, it's like, you know, like it's like humanity loading. That's gonna be one of my things. There's gonna be lots of cool branding. That's all I gotta tell you. Of course, a lot of it's gonna be done from the creative agency, which is great because then I can focus on other things, you know. Again, it's going to be us ultimately. I know I'm saying I'm the conductor, right, and they're going to be the orchestra, right, making these beautiful songs. So, and then the fist kind of coming out, and just, you know. I know it's not just about black people. It means revolution, even though, you know, most black people are like, hey, this means for us, you know, revolution or whatever. And I think what was it, Che Guevara too? Even though, like, if you look at Che Guevara, yeah, they're just. When you actually look at history and not really just, what they actually did was just as monstrous as the people that they took down. They became the monsters that they were going to take down. So my system doesn't involve any fucking political fighting and other stuff. It's just walk your own path, design better, like fucking Buckminster said, right? Design something better to make the old system obsolete. That's all I'm focusing on. I'm not here to destroy the government or something. I'm just here to create something new that will obviously be better than what is now. All right, later, guys.